A key issue with any research project, and I think one of the most important one, is what research question are you trying to answer? So what are you going to be researching? And with any project that I'm starting, I'm basically asking myself two questions. The first question is, why should this research question be studied in the first place? And then a second equally important one is, why should this research question be studied by me? Now, in terms of why should it be studied, I think questions that you can answer, that you can ask yourselves are, is this an academically relevant question? But what I find almost equally important is this a managerially relevant question? Is there some manager or some public policy maker who is struggling with a certain question, and that if you can provide an answer, that he or she will change his behavior? Now, how can you do that, establish the managerial relevance? You can, for example, look in the business press to see whether there are some conflicting opinions over there. Or you can add some quotes from managers who state that they have a problem with this. Or you can talk about the economic significance of the problem that you are studying, in the sense that a lot of dollars are involved, a lot of companies are involved, a lot of customers are involved, etc. So don't just assume that because you add a new variable to the model, that you will talk about something that's managerially relevant. Second thing that you may wonder is, why should it be studied by you? Why should it be studied by me? And two sub-questions there is, do you have the necessary skills? Now, you may be very interested in studying a very complicated econometric problem, but if you don't have the econometric skills, then maybe it's a very interesting problem, but maybe you are not the best person to study it, or I may not be the best person to study it. And then the second important thing is, do you have the intrinsic interest in this topic? There may be some very interesting marketing problems, but if it's not something that intrinsically motivates you, that you're intrinsically curious for, then maybe it's not the problem that you should spend several months or years of your life on. So two key questions is it an interesting and relevant problem? And second, should it be studied by me? And keep in mind in this respect that just because it has not been studied before is a necessary condition, but is not a sufficient condition. You may also want to consider, is the fact that it has not been studied before maybe an indication that it's not such an important question after all. But if you can answer for yourself the question, one, it's relevant, two, it's something that's really interesting to myself, that I want to devote part of my life on to study, then you may be in to have an interesting research topic to start working on.